Hi, I'm Colton with Porsche Center Calgary, and I'm here today with another really great piece of pre-owned inventory. This one is a 2009 911 Carrera 4S. Now, being in 2009, many will tell you this is one of the best years that you can get for the 911. There's just been a huge interest in these 997s lately, and in 2009 they actually were updated a little bit. So the first 997s came out in 2005, and a lot of people preferred the look to the car that it replaced, the 996, because it was the only one that didn't have the round headlight. So for 997 they fixed that and just modernized the styling a little bit, and I think that's the thing with this car, is that it's kind of in a sweet spot in terms of having a lot of modern technology, but it still feels a lot more analog and involved than the cars that have replaced it, which are, you know, faster but also bigger and a little bit more comfortable, right? So if you want something that's a little bit more raw, shorter wheelbase, a little bit bumpier, a little bit louder, you know, that's where this car will appeal to you. Now, as I mentioned, for 09, there was a few updates. It became the 997.2, so it got a new engine with direct injection, gained a little bit more horsepower, 385 in these S models, and the engines prior to that, the early ones, there was some issue with the intermediate shaft. We have people asking about them all the time, and it's a far less common issue than the perception is out there online, even on those early ones. But the fact is, with these ones, it's just a non-issue. That the part's not an issue with this motor anymore. So there's an extra appeal there. You just don't have that kind of thing hanging over your head that could be going wrong with it. So you gain a little horsepower. It's a little bit more efficient with that direct injection motor as well. And then they also changed up, you know, your front and rear bumper a little bit, new wheel styles, and the infotainment system was also improved. So this one now has a touchscreen PCM, or Porsche Communication Management. So that's that infotainment unit. It's definitely a lot more modern. 09 would have been the first year in this car for it, and that carried over until 2016. So it's actually a really good system. I like using it. But that's just kind of in general what this model year brought. So let's dive into this guy in particular. So as I mentioned, the Carrera 4S, so 4 meaning it is all-wheel drive, and another change they made is the rear taillights being connected on the four-wheel drive car, so it looks a little bit different out back than they would have in the year prior. So 4S, 385 horsepower, all-wheel drive, and then importantly, this example has the manual transmission, so it makes it even more kind of what people are really looking for right now on that pre-owned sports car market. You know, you've got that old, more raw feeling, and all the connection you can hope for with that manual transmission. Now outside we've got Meteor Gray Metallic, very popular color. I think it looks great on the car. Other stuff outside, we've got the 19-inch Carrera S wheel with the colored center crest in the middle, and then they opted on this one to have the rear wiper on the back. That was not an option, but it is on this guy. And then it does have the metal sunroof in this one, so as opposed to having a glass roof or just a solid fixed metal roof, it does have the opening metal roof on this example. And then moving on to the inside, we've got the black interior, as the vast majority of these cars will be, but actually quite a few options for this vintage. So you've got the multifunction steering wheel, which I like. Alternatively, you've got kind of a stock coming out of the steering column that you can control things with, but with this one it's all buttons built onto the wheel, so nice to see. I do like that. As well, heated and ventilated seats. You didn't see the ventilated so much in this time period, so I really like those. Those are in here. And then the power comfort seats. A lot of them will have manual seats. This one's fully power, which means you get the driver memory as well. What else did we have here? Oh, the parking sensors. So that's become a standard feature since then, but was optional on this one, and definitely is nice to have when you're trying to park it. It won't have a rear view camera, but it does have those sensors, and they work quite well. We also had the dynamic headlights, so they'll turn with the steering wheel and make it a little bit easier to see at night. And then the navigation for the PCM, so you can have just that screen without the integrated navigation functionality. This one does have that, and as I said, it's a new system for this year and really works quite well, even by, you know, today's standards. I think it's a pretty good system. And Bluetooth as well, which was kind of newish at this time also, but this one is equipped, and again, that system works pretty well. Sometimes I get in the older ones expecting it to be a little bit clunkier just as technology advances, but I find with this system it works quite well. Also did the Bose sound system upgrade. The auto dimming mirrors are on this one too. And what else in terms of options? I think that's about what was added to this guy. I should have mentioned off the top too, about 58,000 kilometers. So, you know, now we're over 10 years old, 11 years old, or I guess even theoretically more than that, depending on when it was purchased. And 60K, so, you know, 6,000 or so kilometers a year. It doesn't look like it's something that was driven all year round, and clearly has been pretty well cared for. Now with everything, of course, we brought it in and put it through our inspection and our reconditioning process. So some of the work that we did to this one, it got a new windshield. We did, let's see, the air filter was replaced, new wiper blades, a brake fluid flush, the tire sealant as well was replaced. So there's no real space to put a spare tire in these ones. So what they give you is a tire repair kit, which includes the tire sealant and a compressor to reinflate that spare tire. But the tire sealant expires after a certain number of years, so part of our inspection will replace it if that's due, which in this case it was. We also did the oil change, and then just a wheel repair. There was some curb rash on one of the wheels, as there often is, so we repaired that. There was a dent that we pulled, and then just a few scratches, nothing you know, body work really required, but we did just do some paint work because there were some scratches through the paint. So, you know, overall it was in really good shape. Just did a few little maintenance items, and now it looks and drives great. So, you know, as I said off the top, great car. It seems to have a particular appeal right now, so I don't expect it to be here long. If you like it, if you like the idea of, you know, more of that analog feel and more of the involvement in the drive, the 997 is the car for you. So if you like it, if you're interested in this one, do pay us a visit. We'll be happy to take you for a spin, or just, you know, go through it in a little bit more depth. If it's not quite the right one for you, we do have a lot of sports cars in our pre-owned inventory right now, so do scroll through, and I'm sure we can find the right one for you. Thanks a lot for watching.